Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, perfect. Hey, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm well. How are you?
Great. For those who don't know, briefly introduce yourself.
I'm Danielle Emily. I'm one of the co-authors of Songbird, My Psalms.
Songbird, My Psalms.
That's my book's title. See,
Who is your niche?
the heartbroken, teens into adults. So I wrote a lot of these in my early 20s. It's for anyone overcoming spiritual warfare. I realized that mental health difficulties are just spirits we have to sort of pray away. I believe I am qualified to say that, as I have done everything, not everything, but a lot of things, to heal my DPDR/CPTSD, and nothing has helped me more than prayer and fasting, to be honest. There is a verse in Luke that says, "Blessed is the wound that bore you." Padre Pio also says, "Blessed is the wound that brings you closer to God, bringing you to your knees." So it goes on to say more, that verse, but I believe that there is so much meaning behind it, and it's a great verse to kind of set the foundation for what I'm trying to accomplish by finally putting this book out, through the grace of God.
If you could thank Yah for something right now, off rip, what would it be?
Tudaya, which means thank you, Yah in Hebrew, for helping me to remember my heavenly value in order to kind of escape low self-esteem. Undoing the work of the kingdom of darkness that wanted me to unalive myself, sell myself short, and keep me miserable, which is not God's vibe, not God's inheritance for my destiny. So shout out to chosen ones who are also undoing generational curses, breaking evil altars, including but not limited to the spirit of rush, the spirit of anxiety, the spirit of lack. In fact, we command all of the chains of the blockages to break in Yahushua's name above all names. So stay happy and have peace with the Holy Spirit in your hearts. I'm so glad I was able to persevere and follow through with the publishing of Songbird, My Psalms. And Tudaya, this will be a great reference tool for support and weapon against attacks on Jesus and Mary, because I'm so over the attacks on her.
Your book just launched. Did you use the original names of God within it?
Mostly, yes.
Yes. Why not completely?
Fair question. I wanted to also cater to those who may not have known it yet. I think that, like, for example, the Native Americans used to chant Ahaya, and they still do. So we could deduct it's def within that verbiage, like Yahuwah, Yahweh, when you breathe Yahweh, Ahaya. But if we stay divided, debating this, we're wasting time, and that's an attack of the enemy as well.
Do you believe in the Black Hebrew Israelites?
I reject the prideful spirit attached to some of these sects, these tribes. I do believe that the irrefutable truth is that the original Hebrew Israelites were highly melanated tribes. Yes, I also believe that as long as you honor the spirit of truth and proclaim Yahushua is the son of Yah, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Ahaya, right? The Most High, the Creator, then you are grafted in and saved. So that's why he sacrificed his life for us, which is true love. And he loves us with a boundless love, even when we could not measure up. But we should always try to measure up and be our best.
Are there any other topics you cover through your poetry?
Anti-bullying, the beauty of nature, and animals. And overcoming the current housing crisis is another theme that's in there, because I feel like no one's talking about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. And then living authentically, familial strife, and embracing Marian Christianity.
Let's return to the topic of the Hebrew Israelites and the history behind that.
Okay.
We want to know your story, which led you to the realization.
Sure, so personal yearning with the help of research led me to the truth on the matter.
Who taught you the original name of Christ?
A wise man named Devon. On my own, I had already realized Christ will come back with white and woolly hair, which automatically made me think of dreadlocks, and a magnificent warrior Messiah. So Tudaya for bringing me into this truth. Devon, he's really wise, and he led me more into the details of it all. So glad I was able to persevere despite the devil trying to unalive me like a million times, and follow through with the publishing of this book, Songbird, My Psalms. Through the grace of God, our book will be a great reference tool for support and a weapon against the attacks, support of those dealing with like depression and stuff, and overcoming trauma, going from surviving to thriving. And it's a weapon against attacks on Jesus and Mary. I'm so over the attacks on her, by the way, the attacks on Mary. Authenticity matters. It matters more than consensus reality. I don't care if people cancel me. I share birthday with Kanye West, and I'm very used to people trying to cancel me just for saying the truth. So I'd rather seek a truth than to live a comfortable lie regardless of what anyone may think. Yes, period.
What is your opinion on Palestine versus Israel?
Mystery Babylon, spiritual Israel. Well, Edomites are not in Africa nor the Arab land. That's a conversation.
So no opinion on politics.
Once I remembered that Polytrix is mere theater, I returned to my independently thinking mind. Political parties come out of Rome. My duty is to serve the Most High Yah, not the world, by casting a vote.
What do you lean more towards?
My fellowship is with those in the house of Yahushua, and I try my best to avoid lawlessness by returning to Shabbat and resting on that day and not buying things, but I can't say I don't mess up sometimes. I strive towards it though, in the original feast days before the true Hebrew Israelites' captivity. So can't say I always succeed, but I try. And of course I gave up pagan holidays.
Per your DNA, are you a true Hebrew?
No, I am grafted in because I am a believer in Yahushua. Heritage matters. History and herstory both matter, but technically no.
Do you pledge your allegiance to your bloodline?
I pledge allegiance to Yah, Yahushua, and the Ruach HaKodesh. Flesh and blood does not inherit the kingdom. It's about your heart posture. I hope to find my tribe who would collab with me to benevolently promote Yahushua's true message and uplift Mary, who I feel the world disrespects too much. And Genesis 3:15 did foretell the reality, and I decided to begin to fervently defend Mary after a popular Protestant YouTuber who I respected reduced her to just some chick. So unfortunately, the whole world falls for reductive lies such as this, as well as marveling at the image of the beast.
Who is the beast?
A false Christ and falsities in general. I am not drunk off the wine of Mystery Babylon. I don't mind to lose sales by refusing to offer pagan holiday discounts, for example. Some may say the beast is like, the false image is like Caesar Borgia, but that's another conversation.
Would you like to close with a message?
Please do not idolize statues nor this book. I am a new creature in spiritual Yisrael, and I would like to re-emphasize that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. So claim your spiritual portion by doing your best every day. Life has ups and downs, but remember that God sends hope in bizarre situations. And I put that on both the headbands and the t-shirts in our merch because it's so true. It's a line from one of my poems.
Could you read us that poem?
Yes, I can. Pray for that day. Look inside for inspiration. God sends hope in bizarre situations. You can feel it all the time if you look deep inside. Do you ever find the time to really look inside?
Lastly, how about a scriptural verse suggestion that may be extremely specific for the readers of this book?
Yes, definitely. Deuteronomy 28 is really important. Deuteronomy 30, Ephesians 3:10. And I like Ephesians 3:10 because it's encouragement to stay set apart, keeping in mind that there are so many denominations, there are so many sides to wisdom and arguments for Elohim, and we should not be afraid of dark authorities or principalities because the Most High protects us. So as long as we are walking that righteous path, we Gucci.
You heard the girl. Go and read, beloveds.
So I'm about to read a poem called Brickle Babes. So I hope this will entice other Miami locals to come out to our book signing, which is on Thursday, March 20th at Barnes & Noble's Kendall from 6:30 to 8:30. We're gonna have merch, we're gonna have shirts and decals like this one. I'll show you. It says bunnies and Bible, but there's something for everyone. We have another decal and shirt, thank you, that says, pray for them, you're not pray for them. Yeah. Because for too long, I was a prey for low vibrational entities, demons, to just hate on me. And I'm like, no, I gotta pray for them, because we gotta pray for our enemies, we gotta pray for the haters. So I'm gonna read a poem now. Here we go. By the way, the book has a really cute bookmark designed by me and put together by Emil, my co-author. So that's really cool. Here we go. Okay, Brickle Babes. Sugar babies go out with their weird zaddies. Out-of-towners abound. They're clearly not from here. Yet they raise the rent for locals year after year. I see them as they socialize, and I look at the skyline as the larger population requires construction to Manhattanize. And efficiency is not a studio. It's just a room in a house. How would you feel if you were restricted to some kind of hole in the wall, like if you were a mouse? Kitchenettes are not enough. I need my organic groceries and room for my fluff. I'm middle class with all the sass. With affordable wine, I'll raise a glass to having been raised with manners and class. I'm so glad I have grace and beauty. I'll take that any day over piles of cash. There are terrible memories I have to rehash of most foreigners ruining my beautiful city by being quite rude and crass. What a disheartening pity to have them come from another land, only for them to be drab, dull, and bland. Not all, just some that have disrespected me. So I'm saying things that I'm being authentic. I'm saying the things that are like polarity, like everyone wants to say the same thing. I'm saying this is true. This is an experience I've had. I'm not saying it's everyone, but it's an experience I've had. Okay, back to the poem. If I could say something to these tourists turned leeches, I'd tell them not to trash our peaceful natural beaches. I'd also say, stay in CA and don't come from NY. Don't New York my Florida, even if you have a good why. Go back to your left-leaning hell. Don't ruin my precious FL. And then Immortal Technique said, there's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. Yeah. And then these are the pictures that go with the poem. Yes. So it's another perspective. Of course, I have friends from every country and, every state. But there are some people that come here and they're rude and they're entitled. And I'm not afraid to say that. And you could cancel me if you want. It's true.
Cool.
Housing crisis. Am I right?
To get a second shot, or what do you want to do?
I liked this take. This take was, I feel like it was good. The energy, the flow was there.